Hello my beautiful jewels and gems. I want to first start this video off with thanking everyone for their support and your love. Your love really means so much to me. And I also want to send a special thank you to everyone who also shared their stories, because I think there's comfort in sharing your story, and that's one reason why I do it. And I also, when I was going through this, I was also looking for other people that have gone through this and what they did, and so that I could figure out, you know, what would be the best thing for me. Of course, there's some pain in that because you have to hear like the sad parts of the story, but there's also some hope in there, because you know that, you know, there's other people out there that are like you, that are going through what you're going through, and I think there's some comfort that I was able to receive in that. One thing that I did notice though was that there wasn't a whole lot of people that were talking about the actual time of the miscarriage, like what actually happens to your body. Now we know already, okay, there's the gory, bloody part of it, okay, that's natural because, you know, your body is releasing blood and clots, and in some women's cases a full-on baby that they can see. And so I don't want to talk about that as much because I'm very squeamish and I don't even like to think about that stuff, but I want to really talk about what happened and how I kind of was recovering. Because when I thought of a miscarriage, you know, well, this is for those of you that have never had one, and I hope that you don't have one or know someone that has one, or I mean, I would hope that no one has to deal with that, but the reality is that it does happen. So I feel like this will be helpful to those of you that have either gone through it, so that you can hear someone else's story and see what I guess is the same, and then for those of you who will go through it, unfortunately, and for those of you who are going through it right now. Because when I had my miscarriage, I mean, I'm a YouTuber, so I was on YouTube looking for videos, looking for information, you know, people's stories, and I was able to find some, but I wasn't able to find this information that I'm going to give you right now. Every woman's miscarriage is going to be different, okay? Everybody's body is different. What happens to your baby in your body is going to be different. Why it happens is going to be different. However, I want you to know that just because it's taken me this long to heal, it may not take you as long, or it may take you longer. You just never know. Everybody's body is different. But what I will say is try to keep positive people around you, positive thoughts only, and much prayer. My bleeding lasted for 7 days, so it's just like a regular period. Well, as far as the time, not the pain and everything else, but it lasted 7 days of bleeding, and then I stayed bedridden, even though I didn't necessarily have to after that 3 to 4 days. I stayed bedridden for about 2 weeks, and then after that I was up and down, but still pretty much settled in a place. And then I would say after about 3.5 to 4 weeks I started, you know, getting up and doing a little bit more. But even still, I've taken it slow. I'm doing way more now than I was, but I'm still taking it slow because I want to make sure my body heals and I don't want to overdo it. So last week I shared my emergency room story, and if you didn't, basically how it all happened and what happened and how I got to the point of having the miscarriage and what that was like up into the emergency. So if you didn't see that video, I will link it right here so you can go back and watch it. And now I'm going to share to you the recovery process. So I left off with David drove me, you know, to the house. And when we left the emergency room, I was very weak, even a little shaky. He took me out with a blanket, so that helped a little. I think the rest, an hour driving home for an hour, helps me get a little bit of strength, enough strength to get up and walk out to walk in the house. So that was great. He just kind of watched me and then helped me into bed, and that was good, and I was able to rest comfortably for the most part, because I think I was so tired. My body was so tired. I was just able to fall asleep pretty quickly. What I did do was I had heating pads. Now, this is something that I naturally have done on my periods. I even did it during my pregnancy. I'm still not really sure how that works, if it's appropriate or not. But I know during a miscarriage it is not appropriate to use heating pads, apparently, because it makes you bleed, or it can make you bleed more. I don't think that it made me bleed more, but what I do think happened was it made my body a little tender to the touch. So it did help me sleep better, and it helped to kind of mask the pain that I was dealing with, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that some more. But it really helped me to kind of drown out the pain. But what it, I think, also made worse, my body, like moving around, it didn't really want to do much moving, and I think it made me tender, like I said. So the pain that I was experiencing started maybe, you know, right below my rib, or what would be my breast area, and down, like, you know, my rib, I was like soreness, and then down the side of my side, down my pelvis and around it, and then down my leg all the way to my foot. So I would put the heating pad on the side of my stomach, and then I would put, I had one on the, well, eventually I had two, so one on the side, and then I would have one but on my lower back. And that actually was great for me during that time. Now, I know sometimes some people say you can use them, some people say you can't. The particular doctor that I went to did not recommend that I use them, so I stopped. At that point, when I had gotten that information, I had also used ice, because ice seemed to help even more than the heat. But talking to my aunt, who's a nurse, she told me that that's not the best thing to do, because the ice can stop the process of whatever your body is doing. So, and then those two things together are not good, because it can cause blood clots. So there's just like all this stuff, you know. The only thing the doctor told me was, the nurse, because the doctor really didn't give me much information. He just kind of came in and gave us kind of the results, and then he left. The nurse, the RN that was there with me, that I told you guys about last week, was really sweet. She told me, you know, I could take Tylenol, only Tylenol, and drink lots of fluid, but she said that caffeine didn't count, so I thought that was kind of funny. So she's basically telling me drink the water, because the water will replenish, you know, your blood. And so I started drinking, well, I was already drinking a lot of water, but I was making sure that I was drinking water. So those are just kind of the things that I used to help comfort me. The only things that I really was able to use, I did, like I said, I drank lots of water. I had Tylenol, and I hate using medicine, I really, really do. But especially before going to bed, I would take my Tylenol, and I would use my heating pads. And then later on down the line, after I had already gotten the ultrasound clearance, I also had used ice. So that was kind of what I used. And also, that morning of waking up, maybe about, I don't know, we didn't leave the emergency room till 4 o'clock. So that morning of waking up, I don't know what time I woke up. It was like 8, I think. And I was hungry, but not for just like any kind of like food. I just wanted, I needed some nutrients. I think my body was asking for nutrients. So to get my fruit, a lot of times I make fruit smoothies, because I'm weird and like everybody loves fruit and not vegetables, and I'm the opposite. So I make a lot of fruit smoothies to get my fruit in, because I don't like usually eating a lot of fruit. I love vegetables more than fruit, but you need both, you know, for a well-balanced life, diet, all that. So I had David to make me a fruit smoothie in the morning, and I kind of drank that throughout the day. And then my stomach was upset, so I couldn't really do much eating of, you know, just regular food. So, but I wanted things that were really hot and things that were really cold. So he made me the smoothie. He also made me soup, and in the soup, you know, he put like greens and things I had just made. I told you guys I made this huge dinner the day before this happened. So he added the greens in with some, you know, like chicken noodles and stuff like that, and that really was good for me during that time. So I recommend, you know, lots of soups and, you know, fruit smoothies was what I use. So I recommend you to do the same thing, because the ice and the fruit smoothie kind of like soothed my stomach, and then having the hot soup also had this way of soothing my stomach. And I wanted to stay away from as much fast food or anything cooked out as possible. So he ended up staying with me that first day, and then the next day my sister came, and the following day my mother also came, and I'm going to my parents' house so that David could go to work, and so he would come there after work, and so that everybody was kind of taking care of me, because I was on bed rest, so I couldn't really do much. And even if I wanted to, I really had a hard time even standing up. I was really dizzy and faint, and so it was kind of scary. So I always really had somebody with me for the most part at all times, and so getting up and cleaning up, anything like that, I couldn't do. My mom came and she helped take care of me in that way, and my sister and then David, you know, did so much. And then maybe a few weeks after, I was able to slowly, very, very slowly do laundry, like walk out, and I'm still really moving slow. I mean, I'm already used to that anyway. That's just how I am. But this didn't help. This made it worse, and plus me being anemic, and so and you know, even sitting here now, it's also, you know, some things similar, some things not, but it's all a process. So those are the things that I did to kind of give myself comfort. Definitely needed the help and the love of my family. You know, my dad came in, he's like, hey, you alright? You know, kind of messed with me a little, gave me some water. And my brother, I kind of took his bed when I went back home, so that was kind of fun, messing with him, and he was kind of looking at me like, are you okay? You know, in his own little way. So it was adorable, you know, my family, like, and their support and everything. And David, like I told you guys, having to pick me up at times, like, it's just crazy, like the pain that you deal with. And the thing about this pain is it's constant. It doesn't go away. It's not like you know, you have a stomach ache or you have a headache and it's like it comes and it goes. This is like forever going on, and you get to the point where you're just like, is this ever gonna end, you know? So anyways, those are the kind of things that I was experiencing. Like I told you guys, my pain started, you know, right below my breast area all the way down to my foot, and I still have that slightly now. I usually sleep, when I sleep I usually sleep on my side. I couldn't even do that, and even now still I have a hard time with it. The doctor said that it usually takes only 4 to 6 weeks to heal, and so far I am almost to 6 weeks from this happening, and I feel a lot better. There was even a point where I was limping because of the pain, you know, that I was getting in my foot and on my side, but you know, it's still going, you know. So I hope that I have a good update for you guys soon. But even I drove out about an hour yesterday or the other day, whatever it was, to get my hair pressed straight. And when I did that, it was difficult, like from driving and coming back. I told you guys about the car ride being bumpy and bouncy. That doesn't really feel good. And then just driving and like looking everywhere, making sure, you know, nothing's going on. This is difficult, but I mean, I felt good enough to be able to do it. Like at first I was scared, like to even just drive down the street, because to get comfortable I have to like lean my chair back so that I'm not messing with my stomach area too much, and so that is intense. And then as far as, you know, getting pregnant again, apparently it happens a lot easier and faster when you had just gotten pregnant. So I think they said, like I read something, it was like between, you know, 6 months if you know, you get pregnant a lot faster during that time. And for those of you that are considering that, I would definitely say make sure that you're completely healed. Your body first of all, make sure your body is healed completely, and two, you want to also make sure that you are healed from the baby, because I think like at a certain point people start to think like, oh, you should be over this by now, but you have to really take time to know when you're over it. And so I would definitely want to wait till my body is healed. And I saw this video of this woman on YouTube who told her story. Like, she told her story, you know, years later. I think she said she got pregnant when she was 21 and she was 29 when she made this video, and she was just talking about like how, you know, she's still sad and she's about the baby that she lost, and she's had, you know, babies since then. And she made a really good point, and I really appreciated her sharing her story, and I really appreciated what she said. And I'll even, if I can find her video, I'll try to link it. I'll try to link it in the description box. But she pretty much said, don't try to replace the baby you lost with, you know, getting pregnant with the new baby, because that baby has its own place in your heart and you can't replace that. And so I you know, I never really thought about it like that. But, you know, she made so much sense, and I was just like, you know what, you are so right. And I was so glad that she said that, because that really made an impact on me. And I was like, you know, she's right. I agree with her 100%. So I really do believe that you should wait till you are ready, and you're not replacing one baby with another one, because that baby has a special place in your heart. You were wondering about why these things happen, and the last part of my other video I shared it, and so I guess I'll do it here again real quick, because I forgot to put it in the video and I kind of just put a VO on there in the end, voiceover. But pretty much what happens is the genetics of the baby is not right. It has nothing to do with the mom or the dad. It's literally the specific egg and sperm that join together, that if the chromosomes are not correct, the baby will eventually, you know, expel from your body, because it is not able to grow properly, and, you know, it's not able to get what it needs for its own body to work right. So I just want to let you know, if you are dealing with this, that it doesn't your fault. And because I was questioning myself, like, oh, is it because I'm anemic? And for those of you that don't know what anemic is, it's just when you're low on iron. It's like, it's because of that, you know, was I doing too much physically or whatever? And, you know, start to wonder and guess, but no, it's not that at all. And I just want to encourage you. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do another update on this next week, because I'm going to be going to a wedding and other things, so I'll be having some of that footage for you guys soon. But every Friday I'm going to continue to post something related to me personally and what I'm dealing with and experiencing, because I see that you guys enjoy those videos. So this is new for me. I mean, really, my channel has been just answering questions for like at least 4 years. That's all I was doing. So this is new. So tell me what you think about, you know, more personal videos, what kind of videos you want to see from me here. If you do have questions though about my experience, or you want to know anything in relation to this, leave them below, or tweet them at askchauntel, or email them as always at askchauntel@gmail.com. I love you guys so very, very much, and I will be making more videos, so you're gonna see more of me real soon. Love you so much. Thanks for watching. Oh, one more thing, because I've been kind of like MIA forever because I've been dealing with this. I'm gonna post a video tomorrow as well. I never post videos on Saturdays, but I'm gonna post one tomorrow, so enjoy that. I hope you like it. All right, see you later. Bye.